Om Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to another Yoga Small Talk, and we continue with 7 minutes Bhagavad Gita a day. We're reading from chapter 5, the Yoga of Renunciation of Action, Lord Krishna's description to Arjuna of the practice of Karma Yoga, which is the practice that is suitable for Arjuna who is still having a sense of doership and agency. And the first thing we heard is that when a person is having a sense of doership and agency, this person will be concerned with the question, what's in it for me? And if you think about it, from the moment we wake up in the morning, when we fully wake up, the only thing we think of is how I'm going to take care of this body and this mind. How I'm going to take care of myself. And we start building up schedules and dealing with concerns and all those things. But as soon as we are fully awake, how am I taking care of myself? So obviously, when we are doing actions, the question, what's in it for me, is very relevant. And we said yogis do not tell us ignore this question, because it is very much there. They're telling us, deal with this question in the proper manner. The what's in it for me, aim higher than just satisfying immediate desires, which will not give you the pleasure that you're looking for anyway. So this we were introduced to in the previous verse, in verse 11. And we were told that we are doing the actions for the purification of the self, meaning, Swami Shivananda explained in the commentary, to purify the heart. And again, the question will come, okay, what's in it for me? Why would I want to purify my heart? Then comes verse 12 to start answering. It's an elaborate and beautiful answer. Verse 12 starts answering this question, telling us, 12, the united one, the well-poised or harmonized, having abandoned the fruit of action, attains to the eternal peace. The non-united only, the unsteady, or the unbalanced, impelled by desire, attached to the fruit, is bound. What's in it for me? The way out of bondage. Why do I want to come out of bondage? Because it will give me eternal peace. This eternal peace is not just a concept. It's not just a theoretical reward. It is something that for yogis is very, 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 very much an experience. And Lord Krishna wants Arjuna to have this experience. Again, remember, the teaching starts with Arjuna being in the state of complete meltdown. Arjuna asks, how will I attain peace? How will I overcome this sorrow? And Lord Krishna is telling him, act for the purification of the self. You will attain to eternal peace. Act for the fruit of the action, seeking this worldly reward. You will be bound. No peace. So Lord Krishna is answering here Arjuna's question. This is the reason why one should purify the self, to come out of this dejection, to come out of sorrow, to come out of misery, to come out of suffering, to come out of doubt. And to find this eternal peace. And Swami Shivananda tells us, this is not the peace from just lying down to relax. This is the peace born of devotion or steadfastness. This is the peace that comes at the end of a prolonged practice that is infused with a lot of devotion and faith. This is the reward for the yogi who is practicing the Karma Yoga. It's not at all easy. We said this before. It's actually very, very difficult. We need to have enough knowledge to understand that purification of the self is better than the immediate fruit of action, and we need to have enough devotion and courage and willpower. Those are all things that are absolutely necessary for us to be able to practice this yoga properly and reach the goal. But Lord Krishna is telling us, yes, it is very hard. It looks very hard, and on the way you will have to seemingly sacrifice things that others are going for, because you will be surrounded by people who are going for the fruit of the action, and you will do otherwise. It is very difficult. But if you have the faith and have the devotion, and we heard in chapter 4, you have the teacher, because without the teacher, this cannot really be done. So if you have all of those, yes, you will get the reward, and the reward is the highest, is the real peace, is the real joy, is the real bliss, is the highest attainment. So Lord Krishna here is eulogizing greatly the practice of Karma Yoga to motivate us. Why do we need to be motivated? Because it is difficult. And this is another thing that we should recognize. It's apparently the easier way, because we don't need to renounce the world. We don't need to have all the qualifications for the highest, the yoga of knowledge, but it is still difficult. So we should have the goal, we should have the devotion, we should have the faith, and Lord Krishna here is giving us the knowledge and the tools that will support this process. And more about the rewards and more about the necessary knowledge comes in the next verses. So please join us for the next teachings. Om Shanti.